Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for taking the time to be with us today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for the offer.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
my name is Tiffany Esposito. I am the CEO of the Bonita Springs Chamber of Commerce, and we as a group are the Southwest Florida Alliance of Chambers.
Let me shut my door. I'm sorry.
problem.
I'm hearing some noise in the back. There you go. Okay. Thank you. I apologize.
No worries. So we're the Southwest Florida Alliance of Chambers. We're doing these candidate interviews with all of the races here locally. We represent 8 chambers of commerce, 6,000 businesses, and 300,000 residents in Lee and Collier counties. We are recording this interview, and we'll be posting them on our websites and on our social media pages.
Okay.
So we just have a few brief questions for you, but before we get into the questions, I just want to introduce who's on the call. So we'll go ahead and start with Colleen, then Donna, then Dave, then Jenna, then Chris.
Well, welcome. My name is Colleen DePasquale. I'm the President and CEO of the Greater Fort Myers Chamber of Commerce.
I'm Mike, Donna Germain, President and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce of Cape Coral.
I know.
Mike, Dave Miller, Chamber of Southwest Florida.
Hi, Jenna Bazzacco Forrester with the Greater Naples Chamber.
How you doing?
Hi, Mike. Good to see you again. Chris Lopez here. I'm a member of many of the chambers you see here, as well as I consult with the Alliance.
I'm saying, how you doing, Chris?
Awesome. So Mike, if you can start off and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, no problem. So I grew up in Cape Coral all the way through high school, played Pop Warner. I worked a lot in the construction industry. My dad owned a construction company. I went to college. I went to Florida Atlantic University, played football there. I was on a scholarship, Georgia military as well. Ultimately, I have my master's in international relations with a concentration in conflict resolution. Right after I just graduated from Florida Atlantic University, I joined the U.S. Army. Served, I'm hitting my 12 and a half years now. I'm a warrant officer now in the National Guard. I served active duty for about 4 years, served in Iraq. I did a lot of interrogations. That was my job. I was an interrogator in Iraq. Got to work with a lot of different countries and really work with multinational effort to try to get rid of the insurgency. I had a small break in service, and this is where my passion to serve politically started. I worked for Lockheed Martin doing counterterrorism. And while I was an independent contractor through them, my son was actually denied health insurance because of Obamacare. There was a provision in Obamacare that prevented him getting an independent child plan. So at that point, I didn't know much about it. So I asked my wife, I said, I told my wife, I said, I don't know what it looks like. I don't know how to do it, but I'm going to get involved now that I'm out of the military and, just want to get involved. Kind of fast forwarding, I worked as a dean at Florida Atlantic University. I was in charge of the military and veterans program. I helped veterans, them leaving the military and going into college. I helped them make that transition, as well as worked as like an adjunct professor in the College of Business area. So I've worked with entrepreneurship specifically. Now I have 5 companies, 5 small businesses. We do a lot of R&D and innovation technology, software development, and cyber. So we hack people sometimes. When they ask us to, and they pay us to. And that's kind of brings me to here today. And I been involved with politics in the Republican Party since 2012, when we got back to Florida. And I'm really looking forward to the questions that you guys have. I'm looking forward. Sorry, somebody's like peeking in. I'm looking forward to the questions, and I'm looking for the opportunity to earn your support. So thank you.
Thank you. So you touched on it a little bit, but what prompted you to run for office?
So initially that's what really drove me to get involved is the incident that happened with my son, the provision in Obamacare. And I really have a passion to serve. I served in the military for now 12 and a half years. And it's been something that, I just worked towards, and never really thought of myself being in this situation. but the time came when Dane and I actually went to elementary school together. Time came where his his seat was coming up, and I said, I think I can contribute. My background in entrepreneurship and cyber and technology, I think today's age, it's very those are a unique set of skills as it is, and it's even more unique in Tallahassee. So I believe that I can go up there and and ultimately make a change right away, and really contribute to the state of Florida.
Awesome. So again, you touched on it a little bit, but if you'd like to elaborate, what makes you qualified to represent the business community?
So as an entrepreneur, I have been through it all from, I'm doing it right now, startup for nothing, raising capital for products, understanding a lot of the regulations that happen when you're trying to start a new business. I think that I'm a great representation of them. Right now I'm on the board of the venture mentoring team, which is it's a statewide organization, but we mentor new startups. I'm predominantly in the technology space, but we mentor many different startups, and I know the challenges that they have. It's always talent capital. Those are two big challenges that a lot of organizations have, and I have plans and I have thoughts onto addressing them. Obviously, I'm not going to say that those are the exact ones that we have to go to, but I'm working with organizations such as the Chamber and different organizations to come up with the right solution to solve some of those issues.
Great, thank you. In your opinion, what is the most pressing issue facing the Southwest Florida business community? And if elected, what would you do to address this issue?
I think the unintended consequences that we could possibly see coming into after the coronavirus. I was activated for the coronavirus, and I was activated for about a month and a half, and I set up the testing sites in Broward and Miami-Dade, and I saw it when everything shut down. We tested a lot of people, and we talked to a lot of people. A lot of people are very concerned about what's going to happen. There's like I said, it's unintended consequences that's going to happen to all these effects. I think the first order of business is going to be looking at protecting small businesses, tort reform, looking at other legislation. I know that the federal government, the president enacted an executive order for all of the agencies to look at regulations that need to be looked at and possibly pulled in support of business growth, making sure that we kind of step out of the way for some of the businesses. That is probably going to, in my opinion, that's going to be the most important thing coming into 2021. Frankly, I think it needs to be starting now. So.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, Southwest Florida's economy is heavily dependent on leisure and hospitality.
Mm-hmm.
So if elected, what would you do to encourage economic diversification in the region?
So I think, and that's a comprehensive thing. We're very fortunate that we have beautiful beaches. We have, beautiful waterways. Water quality is going to be a part of that piece. Making sure, again, that we get out of the way of some of those regulations that prohibit growth. I think vacation rentals are important. A lot of these things kind of contribute to the hospitality industry. I know that a lot of charter fishermen and do a lot of fishing. They rely a lot on vacation rentals and things like that during some of those the season. So I think supporting that and ultimately working with the chamber and different organizations and the hospitality industry on understanding under their needs. I'm never going to understand everything about an industry, and it's going to be more important for me to have people pick up the phone and call and ask questions. So.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So this group was formed out of the 2018 water crisis, and water quality has been and remains our #1 priority. If elected, what specific projects would you advocate for to improve and protect Southwest Florida's water quality?
So I think the restoration projects that our legislature has already kind of pushed through are great, and we need to keep pressure on that. I specifically have dove into the Kissimmee, knowing that water goes into the Lake O 7 times faster than it can be pumped. The math doesn't work. So I really think that we have to concentrate on the Kissimmee River to make sure that we can minimize that, because otherwise, I mean, that's going to be one of the biggest projects and one of the biggest things that we have to do to make sure that we don't go into another water crisis that we did before.
And what specific actions do you think lawmakers should take to improve and protect Southwest Florida's waterways?
That's something that, there's a lot of different things right now. I think, like I said, I think going back to the Kissimmee and working on those projects, there's a lot of different legislation kind of floating out there for different regulations. Those are things that I'm learning more and more about every day. And I'm talking to people from the construction industry to the hospitality industry. I think we're just coming up with the middle ground to make sure that we do the right thing possible, best thing possible.
So last question, is there anything else you'd like us to know about you or your priorities?
I think some of my big priorities are innovation, technology, STEM. Right now I'm working with our charter school in Cape Coral to build their STEM program. I really am very passionate about that, because that being our future. Our kids are very important to the Florida's future. The talent that the opportunities that we give them are important. So, if you can walk away and take away from this anything, you'll know that I'll fight for the business community. I think it's important for the talent, apprenticeships, trades. I think all of those areas are very important to sustain our growth and ensure that we have the talent in Southwest Florida to grow our business community. So
great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. Like I said, we'll be posting these on our website and social media, and we wish you luck in the election.
thank you so much. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.